Hello, everyone. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to talk about the disastrous coaching of Christie sides of the Indiana Fever. Welcome to Mark and Rob's Sports Showdown. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We're going for 3,000 subscribers. We've only been around for 3 months, and we need you to help us out to get there. And hit the notification bell when you do, because you'll get notified of our next videos. Rob, I know she's more scrutinized probably than any coach in the history of sports at this point, just because of the amount of publicity that Caitlin Clark gets. But be that as may, she seems like the worst coach I've ever seen in my life.
Mark, we can use all the cliches about her. You know, and we gave her, and I gave her a little bit, benefit of doubt, whatever. But I mean, as I'm observing her and the way she does things, and even you're not even a coach. You've never coached a basketball game. You can even see how she, with the substitution and how she runs her offense. And the main thing is defense. Her defense sucks. She has no clue on how to coach a defense.
Rob, not only can't I see it, my 12-year-old son, who doesn't exist, can see it. I'm serious. That's how easy it is to see. Like a bright 12-year-old who follows sports could see how many things she's doing wrong. In fact, there's no great insight to criticize her coaching. And Rob knows a lot about basketball because he coached it and played it. But you don't even need to be a basketball genius to see this. In fact, it's almost universally accepted by everybody, except for a couple crazy people who are making like our Clark haters are saying, "Oh, you're just blaming the coach." I think she's disastrous. She's clueless and she's incompetent. I don't know what other words to use, Rob.
I mean, your 12-year-old, if your imaginary 12-year-old would see last night's game and go, okay, why is Mitchell shooting the ball when Clark is the best 3-point shooter? Boom.
Why isn't the hot player getting the play called for her?
It's like, yeah, well, I'd be like, they would be like, Mark, Dad, look at this. Why are Caitlin Clark's having a fantastic fourth quarter? Why aren't they giving her the ball?
Daddy, why is the person that's 0 for 8 in the game taking the shot instead of the one that's 2 for 2 in the fourth quarter and 5 for 9 in threes? Why? I don't know, son. She's insane. What can I say?
And being honest, which kids are, they'll go, man, she's stupid.
Yes, stupid. We didn't have, that's a nice word. That's like the nicest word I can say besides that. I don't know, Rob. She switched the starting lineup after they had their best win of the year, which makes no sense. And then not only did she switch it, she switched 2 players. Yeah. You know that's going to ruin the chemistry. You know it's going to ruin the flow of the game. And there was no reason to take Smith out of the starting lineup. She had played well. And she gets a lot of rebounds and points. Her defense is below average. We know that. But so is Samuelson's defense. Let's be honest about that.
All, like I said, all of them. All of them are just defense. That's why they're last in defense in the league. They're last, and that you can see why. And that comes down to coaching. I mean, after so many games, what is it, Mark? You said 23 games they've played already?
23. You
would think there'd be some type of defensive adjustments, like other teams do to them when Clark comes in the arena. Who is the person they draw up on the board and say who to stop? The other opposing coaches. Is it Mitchell? No. Is it Boston? She'll be on there. The main person they want to stop is Caitlin Clark. That's what they'll talk about.
We just stick guards who are average defenders on their best scoring guards, and they have their best games of the year against the Indiana Fever. Right. Why? Because she doesn't put Hall on them, and she waived Celeste Taylor along with Liz Dunn, the general manager. I'm sure it was a joint decision. And so they have no one left to cover these players because she doesn't even – well, now she starts – she takes her out in the whole second quarter after she starts her. I don't understand, Rob.
It's mind-boggling. As I said, as a defensive coach, I'm going like, wow. But that's what I mean. So, okay, so it's not – so people say, well, you're blaming the head coach. Okay, fine. Well, then you got to put assistant coaches next to you that if you're an offensive mind coach or a defensive minded coach, you have other people around you that can say, okay, I know about the offense, coach. Let's run this. or I know about how to do defense, and have them run the practice. That's what you do as a head coach.
Well, I don't know why people say she's a defensive specialist. They're last in the league in defense, the last I checked.
They're
So
horrible.
I understand in the fourth quarter, she draws up plays that are awful and for the wrong people. She totally ignores her star player when everybody else does the same thing. Rob, I still remember that line from Doug Collins. Michael Jordan hits the winning shot. It was a 2-2 series. They're down by 1, and they're playing against Cleveland. And there's a few seconds left in the clock. And they give it to Jordan, and Jordan hits a jumper from a little bit past the foul line. Rattles then goes in, and they ask Doug Collins, what was the play in the huddle? He goes, give it to Michael and get the F out of the way.
Exactly.
Caitlin Clark can't create her own shots like Michael Jordan, but you can run a play for her so she can get semi-open. And that's what she should have done in the fourth quarter.
Right. Like I said, a double off, have her off the ball, and then double screen for her where she can come off a screen or double screen and be open for a shot. Don't have her that one game where she had her inbounding the ball. I was yelling at what are you doing? With why do you have her passing the ball, inbounding the ball? I'm going, you're crazy. What are you doing? Ugh.
And Rob, we did a video yesterday about what would Caitlin Clark's numbers be if she had a better coach. And basically all the numbers had gone up since she got the keys to the car. And she didn't do it till like 8-9 games ago now. And then yesterday she has the biggest game of the year for her. So I don't even have the numbers updated since yesterday, Rob. But we all saw the rebounds and the assists are way up. Her shooting percentage went slightly up. It's unbelievable. If she had just done this from the very beginning, that everybody saw within 3, 4, 5 games, including my imaginary 12-year-old son, said, why isn't Caitlin Clark running the offense? Why are you doing this dinosaur offense? Why? Why, Dad?
Mark,
I don't know.
I mean, Mark, it was the reason why the games were shown yesterday is because it was camp day for the young kids. Now, I'm sure all the young kids in the stands at that game were yelling the same thing that us adults were saying. Why is Caitlin Clark not shooting the last shot? They're probably all looking at each other, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7, all different types of ages, boy, girl. They're going, looking at each other like with wonderment, going, why is she not having the ball? What was up with that? What's up with that?
Why did she always throw her players underneath the bus and very rarely says anything that she's got to do something better about it or that she did something wrong? And then she didn't. In the press conference, Rob, they asked her why she changed the starting lineup, and she said, "It's just coaching decision. I'll just leave it at that." And like I said, if she's going to change the starting lineup, just change one player instead of 2. Keep Smith in there and put Hall in to cover Atkins because Atkins burned him for 26 points last time.
Yeah.
So that's the one change I would have made. If I didn't make any changes, then I would have brought Hall in if Atkins started getting hot, like I said before. So
right.
But she didn't do any of that. She changed 2, and they got off to an awful. Well, they scored the first 5 points, but after that, they played awful. After that,
yeah, it was horrible. I'm like I said, the chemistry. You can't just put 2 people in to be starters when the stars are used to certain players and certain tendencies.
Well, yeah, because Rob and Smith is used to starting. I think she sulks when she doesn't start because she started all last year and then she started almost all this year. And I think mentally that affects her. I think just keep her in there and make her concentrate on defense. Teach her more about defense. Tell her, hey, you're not going to get the minutes if you don't bulk up and play physical defense.
But then I would. But here's me. I'd be Smith. I'm like, Coach, these other players are not playing good defense either. So.
Well, that's on the coach. What can I say? I don't know, Rob. They've got they got 2 more games before the Olympic break, and I know they're not going to fire her before the Olympic break, but they've got to fire her.
Yeah, she's after yesterday's game, losing to a team. Like I said, the Mystics, they always play hard no matter what their record is. They give even the top teams a tough battle, but yesterday's game. They should have won that, and the coach, yeah, you're gone. I'm not sticking up for her anymore. That's it. Bye. See ya.
Yeah, I'm afraid they're not going to fire her this year. But
I know what that's the whole thing. I'm like,
If they lose the last 2 games before the Olympic break, maybe they'll consider it. But they're winning despite her because they have some talent on that team. I said this in the beginning of the year. So there were some people, I don't know if they know anything about basketball or not, people making comments. I don't know if it was on YouTube. They're saying, this team sucks. All their teammates sucks. I go, no, they don't. They really don't suck. They're just not well coached, and they have some talent.
yes.
They do. They have 5 good players. One of them's injured, unfortunately, but they have 5 good players.
Right.
And they need to be taught to play better defense and to run a better half-court offense. And the coach isn't talented enough and knowledgeable enough and smart enough to do it. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, people can say it comes down to the players, but who guides the players is the coach.
Right. And Rob, and when you got a loose cannon like Mitchell, again, she's had a year and a half to get her to play team ball and to pass. That's on you. That's on you. You have to bench her. You have to do whatever you got to do to make her finally start passing the ball, because that's the only way the team's ever going to win a championship. You can't have a person like that just gets the ball, dribbles, and shoots.
Yeah, she had 2 assists yesterday. Ooh.
Oh, wow. I don't know if she's the worst coach in the world. I haven't seen every coach, but she's up there. She's awful. That's all that matters.
Yeah, she's no, she's bad.
And she's got to go. The team could do something this year. They could easily end up in 7th place. I don't know about 6th. The Mercury got Brittany Griner back, but hey, they play the Mercury tomorrow night. On Friday, they could win that and do some. So right now they're in 8th place. So we'll see what happens, Rob.
Yep.
All right, so that's our take for today. Let us know if you think Coach Sides is the worst coach that you've ever seen or close to it in the comments. And if you like this video, hit the like button. Feel free to make intelligent, non-insulting comments. We have a live show Eastern time from 6 to 8 every Monday except for major holidays and except for the 2 weeks during the Olympics, because we'll be covering the Olympics from 2 to 5 because that's prime time in Paris and that's when the marquee events are. All right, so join us for that. And I'll be doing the game tomorrow night from 7:30 to 9:30. It's on Ion. And they're playing the Mercury. So join us for that. And we'll see you then. See you in the next video.
Peace out.